Good evening, my extended family. Good evening. It is Thursday, June 25th, 2020. Tomorrow's Friday already. Boy, the week flew by and June's flying by. I hope you all had a good night's sleep last night and that your day went well today. Thanks again for letting me spend a few minutes with you this evening. I appreciate every one of you. You're quite special to me. The thought that somebody enjoys the show that I've put on for them energizes me. I thank you. Every evening I like to start by reminding each and every one of you that you are simply wonderful right where you are. We're not perfect, but like one of my students told their teacher the other morning, be patient with me. God's not finished yet. I like that. And I can't miss the opportunity here to say the word of the day. I usually say it later on, but the word of the day is absterge, which means to wipe clean, to erase, redemption. For those who are Christian, that word means everything. For that matter, most religions that I've studied believe in forgiveness from their Creator through repentance for the harm that they bring to others. If we all honestly believed in a Creator, a loving Creator that we didn't want to offend, we wouldn't hurt each other like we do. And God, yes, everyone's God, would be back in our public schools. That's what's needed. That God may look differently for different cultures, but that's okay. Matter of fact, it's more than okay. If everyone's God was a loving God, our children would learn firsthand that we are one. Even as diverse as we are indeed God's people. Until I'm called back to my Creator, that's the world I'm committed to working for. Let's not let anything take our eyes off of this loving Creator. Don't let anything do that. We're not perfect, but we are forgiven. And for those who don't believe in a Creator, I want your attention as well. Love, caring, and nurturing is not something that only believers own. It's not offensive, and as human beings, we owe it to each other to act that way towards each other. It's the only way that we as a human race can survive. Don't think for a second that the people, the religion, the culture that you're persecuting today won't rise up and fight back tomorrow. People don't and shouldn't just roll over. I don't believe that any individual or group is more precious than any other in the eyes of our Creator. I do believe that we should all work to make this world a place where all life, with our vast differences, are precious and respected. I remember my dad, God rest his soul, saying, violence begets violence. If someone's looking for a fight, they'll find one. And there'll always be someone tougher, stronger, dirtier, and more evil than them and willing and wanting to fight them that they can't beat, no matter how tough they think they happen to be. And if there is an afterlife, and I believe there is, do you want to spend eternity with those behaviors I've just described? I guess that's what they mean by having a healthy fear of God. Or again, if you don't believe in a Creator, the saying would be, you can't fool Mother Nature, or even better, what goes around comes around. All right, I didn't think all that was going to come out when I started writing. Anyway, it's happy birthday time. Happy birthday to my old boss, John Watts. John, if you're watching, I hope you had a blessed day. Maybe you went golfing. I remember John and I and a couple of other guys went golfing quite a bit. And one Saturday morning, we went to the old Lisbon golf course. After he teed off, he stepped into the woods for a second, and I stepped up for my tee shot. Well, I swung, and the club slipped out of my hand and into the woods just over John's head. He came flying out of the woods yelling, what the hell was that? I thought a stinking anacondrac just flew into the trees. An anacondrac. I still haven't identified what that is. Well, the laughing kept up for the rest of the golf game. We never got back on course, no pun intended, but it was a good day. Another time we were golfing at Cedar Ridge down in East Lyme. I had arrived late. My buddy and I arrived late, and John and his boss had already teed off on the first hole, and they were standing just off the green. Well, I teed off, and the ball was traveling toward the green about 205 yards away. It would have missed them by about 10 feet. John grabbed his boss, turned him around, and placed him right in the path of my shot. The ball drilled his boss right between the shoulder blades. He was okay. But again, we had the hardest laugh aloud on a quiet golf course. Great memories, John, and again, happy birthday. I hope that I haven't left anybody out. If you have someone that you'd like me to announce it's their birthday, please let me know. All right, let's get ready to travel like we do every evening. Every night we travel to a different state, and tonight is no exception. So once again, I need you to please put on your little kid imagination. Tonight's show is coming from a state that was established in 1959, 1 year before I was born, and became our 50th state. This state is located in the Pacific Ocean. I know you know that state already. It's the only U.S. state outside of North America and the only island state. This state consists of 137 islands spread over 1,500 miles. It has 10 of the world's 14 climate zones. The alphabet here has only 12 letters and 2 symbols that change the sound of a word. There are no snakes in this state. If you try to smuggle a snake in, you could be fined up to $200,000 and face 3 years in jail. There are no billboards in this state, and as a matter of fact, this state was the first state to ban billboards. Gambling is illegal here. This state is a giant melting pot of many wonderful different cultures. All of the beaches here are public beaches. Funny laws still on the books in this state. Whether they're enforced or not, I don't know. It's illegal to put up a building taller than a palm tree. You can't tease the birds. Coins can't be placed in your ears. It's illegal to get a tattoo behind your ear or on your eyelid. It's illegal to try and sink the islands. You can't make a milkshake with imitation milk unless you tell the person you're using fake milk. I like this one. You can't leave home if you don't know where you're going. The state flower is the yellow hibiscus. The state insect is the Kamehameha butterfly. I like saying that. Kamehameha butterfly. The state fruit is the, there's no state fruit in this state. No state fruit. The state bird is the nene. The state tree is the candlenut tree. The state motto is, the life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness. It sounds more romantic in its original language, but I would have botched it up, I promise. The nickname of this state is the Aloha State. The capital is Honolulu, and the state is Hawaii. The character trait for the month of June, as you know, is integrity, which is the quality of being who you say you are and doing the right thing, especially when nobody's looking. Very important. Today is National Catfish Day. You know, as old as I am and as much as I've eaten, I've never had catfish. The word of the day here is wonderment. This is the second word of the day. A state of awed admiration, amazement, joy, and respect. It's a good word. I'd say we could use more wonderment these days. On this day in history, back in 1788, Virginia ratified the Constitution of the United States. In 1950, communist North Korea invaded South Korea. In 1962, the United States Supreme Court ruled that prayer and Bible reading in public schools were unconstitutional. They called it cleansing the public schools of religion. I gotta say, how about a few minutes given every day to any religion that may have different beliefs but believes in a loving, forgiving creator? Just a few minutes every morning to all these religions. If you believe in a creator that is not harmful but love, and we've always been taught God is love, you should get a few minutes in public school for that, according to me. All right, I won't get started again, I promise. In 1876, Custer lost the Battle of Little Bighorn. In 1947, The Diary of Anne Frank was published. In 1967, my brother Wally, this is for you. The Beatles performed and recorded their new song, All You Need Is Love, on the first ever live international telecast carried by satellite from 14 countries. In 1988, the United States Supreme Court rejected the line item veto. I think that's a pretty important thing. I think that the president should have a line item veto. And sadly, on this day, Michael Jackson at 50 and Farrah Fawcett at 62 passed away. So that's the show for tonight. Hope I didn't take you too far. If you're looking for me tonight, I'll be found after I leave the state of Hawaii. We'll travel quickly. If you're looking for me, I'll be found with my cigars playing 18 holes of golf at the Lisbon Golf Course, looking for that elusive anacondrac. So until we meet again, let us all have a blessed, peaceful night. Say our prayers, and like I said, leave the world and any problems in our Creator's hands. Again, and as always, you truly are quite special. The world would not be the same without you, so don't even think of leaving. The world, and especially the people right around you, need you, and that's a good thing. So let's be kind to one another. You'll never regret that. So good night, and may God bless.